Welcome, everybody. It's your girl, Delores, just a pink girl in my pink world, here on every social platform with the good brother J News. It's June, J News. Time is flying by. But you know what I'm glad for? I'm glad for it being June 1st, meaning 15 more days to my birthday. Party people. Come on, let's have a good time. J News, what do you guys say to these good people?
Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's your good brother James back at it again here on the Hit the Road podcast with the lovely Delores, talking to you about the week that was in pro wrestling. Um, welcome, as usual. We have lots in store for you today, so let's get the show on the road and get
Yes, yes, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, if you see a little difference, we're trying something new. I kept it normal on J News side, but I changed my latency so I can interact with you all a little better. So this works out, then we know what to do from now. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna start the Hit the Roast podcast with a review. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna start off with WWE Monday Night Raw on Monday the 26th. On Netflix, it was Raw 1670. We had a Money in the Bank qualifying triple threat match. Penta defeated Chad Gable and Dragon Lee. Rusev defeated Akira Tozawa in 54 seconds. It was less than a minute. He beat that man like he owed him something. WWE Tag Team Title Triple Threat match. The New Day defeated Raw Raiders and American Made. Kyrie Sane defeated Liv Morgan. And in the Money in the Bank qualifying triple threat match, we had Seth Rollins defeat Finn Balor and Sami Zayn. J News, did you see any of this and what did you think of it?
um. Why did I feel like I watched a different episode of Raw? But I mean, everything more or less on Raw it went down the way it was supposed to. I guess from the way things have been breaking down uh, post WrestleMania, now after Saturday, the last Saturday night's main event. So the first triple threat qualifying match with Penta, Chad Gable, and Dragon Lee was really fun. It was really fast, which is definitely something that's not usual for a WWE match. So that was interesting and cool to see. Rusev coming back to be a quote unquote world beater against lesser opponents is not necessarily something that at this point in time in his career I want to continue to see. You can only do that but so much and so often with that particular kind of character. And he's been in this more or less same kind of um, shtick between WWE and AEW at least for the last decade or so. So I feel like doing something different with him would probably do him best, and not something akin to whatever storylines I had him doing with his wife and Bobby Lashley. Something just a bit different. That's just my personal opinion on that. As for the New Day retaining their tag belts, it doesn't seem like they're going to lose them anytime soon, but it seems like their tag team choices in Raw are limited between the War Raiders and American Made. So hopefully newer matches coming for the New Day as time goes on. Good to see Kyrie Sane back against Liv Morgan. Hopefully she continues to stay healthy and things of that nature. And then the other
I think this is their way of writing her off because she's doing that movie.
who
Liv Morgan. You remember last week they mentioned that she's doing a movie. That's why she wasn't there last week. And then they introduced Roxanne. And then Roxanne is still playing on this week. Her kind of trying to seduce Dom.
they already had Liv off of TV for that movie thing. She's back now.
But they said they claimed that she wasn't there last week because she was still finishing up her movie. And then that's why Roxanne last week appeared, and now she is this kind of like seductress for Dom, and she's up here feeding him chicken nuggets.
I mean, if they can't keep their storyline straight and their timeline straight, that's on WWE. But they kept her off of TV long enough for her to do her movie, from what my understanding of her schedule was. So we'll see. I know that that the storyline now has her, um, or at least it ended last week on Raw with her uh, doubting.
Unless they doing like reshoots or she's on a promotion for
Yeah,
it,
but that'll come later.
that might be
Yeah,
a
the
reason.
promotional stuff will come later, but I know that the end of the episode of Raw had her doubting and being upset with Raquel, for interfering in her match. I think it was. So
Yeah.
there's that part of it. So we'll see how that continues to break down because Finn was having a lot of fun with the fact that she was beefing
Yeah.
with Raquel and the young lady with Roxy. So we'll see how that continues to end up with.
He's breaking up the judgment day essentially. He is essentially breaking up the judgment day by bringing in Roxanne to
Yeah,
replace her. She she replaced Rhea and now she's being replaced herself. And it is hilarious to see because it's like for all it's kind of, you know what it reminds you of? You know the husband that cheats on his wife and then the mistress becomes the new wife and then she gets cheated
mm,
on. That's the same
yeah,
exact thing.
and Dom's not doing himself any favors. So we'll see how that continues on. And then the main event, the last triple threat match or whatever the case is, that included the boys from I think it was Seth Rollins and things of that nature. Him winning the triple threat match wasn't necessarily something I was looking forward to, but we'll see how it all pans out. And hey, Fran, how you doing?
Yeah, I saw her. I put a comment up. I normally try to shout her out because she's always here, supportive of the Hit the Ropes podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to, you can watch that show on Netflix. They'll have two shows. Pray for me, Jesus. Pray. I will be doing watch alongs, and we'll talk about that in the preview because some of this stuff is setting up for some of the stuff that will be happening on Saturday for a Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank. Okay. Uh Ladies and gentlemen, if J News, they didn't give me no kind of break in between them shows because it's Worlds Collide come on I think at 3. It might last an hour or two, and then 7 is when Money in the Bank comes on. But at least Worlds Collide is available on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, so y'all can actually watch along. Ladies and gentlemen, the next day on the 27th on the CW, we had NXT. We had WWE North American title. Ethan Page defeated the former champion of Ricky Saints in a title change. Mike Santana, that's my man, 100 Grand, defeated Tavion Heights. We had Jada Parker defeat Tatum Paxley. We had Jasper Troy defeat Dante Chen. And for the WWE NXT Women's Title match, JC Jane defeated Stephanie Valkyrie in a title change. J News, did you see this? And what did you think?
Yeah. So it is interesting what came of this episode of NXT. Um, I'll say that the title changes were surprises. Both title changes: Ethan Page beating Rick Sings and JC Jane beating Stephanie Vaquer. Then to come find out that they have a bunch of call-ups planned to the different brands between Stephanie Vaquer, Ricky Saints. Um, Obviously, we saw Julia go to SmackDown and things of that nature. Jordan Grace is also getting a call up to the main roster. So that to me kind of fleshed out their specific divisions. But I will say this: um, the Ricky Saints going to the main roster thing is a little bit not troubling, I would say, or worrisome is more or less the word that I was looking for. And along with the ladies as well. being called up, because I feel like at this point, this it's always the case, but now more than ever, just from a number standpoint, the rosters are super bloated. So I'm not too sure how much TV time people are going to be getting on the main roster. That's one
Well,
thing I wanted to mention. Um, it was cool to see Mike Santana on a WWE product. He came off authentic. He came out his real raw self and stuff like that. So shouts to Mike for continuing to put in the work and do good things. It was cool to see Jada Parker back on NXT TV for a couple of weeks in a row. Don't know who Jasper Troy is really. Dante Chen's been around for a long period of time in the Performance Center for NXT and WWE. So maybe this is the time that they give Dante Chen a better look. And I want to say that for JC Jane, this is a big win. One, just winning the title, but secondarily, the WWE as a marketing machine needs to do better. I say that because I don't, and this is more the render of her NXT championship picture did not look good on the internet.
nor did they do it good on Battleground with
Right.
Trick Williams. Joe Hendry looked perfect, and Trick looked like a cartoon version of himself.
It seemed like someone did some post work on that photo, and I'm specifically talking about JC James' photo, and it was like they were looking to hurt her image in some way or fashion and whatnot, because that was probably the least flattering JC Jane photo I've seen in my entire.
She's not a typical WWE woman,
Doesn't matter.
like,
It doesn't matter.
and so they tried to sculpt
It
her
doesn't matter.
to look like something she wasn't supposed to be
There's
doing.
been plenty. There's been plenty of other times that they've had JC Jane on the websites and different pictures that they set up of her, which were much more flattering. And what they chose for her was just one, a smack in the face, and two, I don't know who the hell okayed that, and that was not cool. Because this is a big money thing.
I think, and sometimes I think they do it, but also I've seen some behind the scenes clips sometimes where I'm like, that look bad, and then when I see the thing come out, I'm like, oh, the superstar wanted some of the changes and some of the stuff. Oh, that, but still, it's bad. You shouldn't let them, okay, this to put it
Yeah,
out.
that
But as far as what you were talking about the roster bloated, I've been listening to a lot of interviews. A lot of the women are wanting to settle down and have children, so that's time off. A lot of them are getting married. That's time off. As far as the men concerned, they're like they just released our truth. They told him, "Hey, we don't want you back," and you got women to replace them in NXT. I didn't when I first heard that they were changing. I'm like, who is going to take in the spot and who is going to? They got some of the Olympians and different women that tried out and did this show with the Undertaker and them. I forgot the name. And then you also have, from what I'm seeing, Mariah May come in. So you are replacing and going up, and this might actually be an opportunity for the first time where women and men in WWE get time off as needed for family and other things, and instead of having to, you can kind of rotate storylines instead of we sticking with the same storyline for 65 years with the same people. Now, yes, the top people are going to be the top people, but it needs to change around. Like that whole Roman Reigns thing, when he was missing, we enjoyed him coming back. But me seeing him for a whole year talk and do nothing, after 6 months, I was over it. I think that's kind of the thing that AEW is going through with John Moxley. We see him and this is not working, and we want him to get off our TV screen. We want some fresh new blood in the house. And I think maybe bringing some fresh new blood up will help kind of revigorate things, especially when you're going to have AAA in the mix. Now, as far as those who know me and know and who know AAA and saw what happened over the weekend or whatever, whenever it happened, um, I don't know how the AAA title is going to be involved in this because Homeboy seemed like he on a rampage and nobody can stop him.
What are you talking about?
I don't know if you saw that video with Alberto. They
He
say it's
he
Valkingo's.
lost the title last night. People don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, Valkingo father. They were having
Yeah,
an
no, I saw that.
interview.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah, and it's like, dude, you're losing your like this. Like at first, it looked
It
like a
was a work.
work. I was like, oh,
It was
okay.
work.
And it no, but you look at that one part where he kicks him so
I mean,
hard,
that's
like
that's 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 who he is. That's the way he does stuff. But he lost his.
because at first, security was
Yeah.
doing that whole like we were pretending we were gonna stop it, when we were gonna not stop it. But the moment he kicked him like super hard, they were like, "Oh no, we gotta separate you all too." And we was like, "Okay, this is what y'all doing, but fine and well, keep it going." But I'm glad because I didn't watch last night because I listen. Wrestling is slowed down, but it's a lot. So you all hear me talk about some new companies and stuff in the going future. But last but not least of that week was SmackDown, and we had SmackDown 1345 on the USA Network on Friday. We had the Money in the Bank qualifying triple threat match. Sorry for the noise in the back. It's summertime and it's time for the kids to have a good time. Money in the Bank qualifying triple threat match. Naomi defeated Jade Cargill and Nia Jax. We had JC Mateo defeat R-Truth in his last match. It looked like Los Garzas defeated Javon Evans and Ray Phoenix. We had a non-title match where Zelina Vega defeated Alba Fire. We had a non-title Money in the Bank qualifying triple threat match. Andrade defeated Carmelo Hayes and Jacob Fatu. J News, did you see this and what did you think?
Um. First of all, they're keeping SmackDown at 3 hours, so that's a thing. I want to say that Naomi is looking very strong with her attitude change and her being a heel and everything else in between. Her playing this jealous, crazy former friend, best friend, whatever, jaded lover kind of role, if you want to call it that. It's working. Her promo bit that she did with Bianca on SmackDown. Um, was some of the quickest yet uh
It was so
yeah,
personal.
it was it was personal.
Ladies and gentlemen, she told that woman, I know your mama would hate for you to be in a wheelchair just like her. I said,
Yeah,
whoa,
it
whoa,
was
whoa, whoa.
quick, it felt real, it felt she was able to switch from crying face to crazy woman in an instant. So hats off to Sister Trin for pulling that off because it was crazy. It seems like the real feud, at least from what everybody on the internet keeps saying, is really between Naomi and Bianca. I still have the sense that the reason as to why her and Jade faced off is because there's still a lingering sense that Bianca knew what Naomi was up to, and that's why
Yeah.
Naomi continuously keeps on was trying to reach out and all that stuff to Bianca. The JC Mateo thing, you know what, man? I'm gonna do the same thing I do with Walter with this JC Mateo shit. I'm gonna keep on calling him Jeff Cobb because I can't with this name. Jeff Cobb defeating R-Truth. That being R-Truth's. I'm literally sitting here reading this news because somebody posted it in the chat, and then you spoke about it, Dolores, as well. This whole R-Truth news about him being released from the WWE was news to me. This was R-Truth's last match.
Yeah, sure. SRS reported that his contract was coming up to be due, and they notified him that they would no longer use him. He was no longer his contract was not going to be
Yeah, man,
renewed.
and truth is one of those Ron the Truth Killings, Truth, K Quick, whatever you grew up knowing.
But I appreciate WWE. SRS did not
He
break
did.
this, for those who are
Truth
wondering.
did. Yeah,
Our Truth
yeah.
told
Hmm.
itself. And so they gave Our Truth the opportunity to break the news
Yeah.
to fans himself. As far as him, for people who are like screaming he's going to AEW, he has a large family. He's been doing a lot of social media with his family. And making some change from that. So maybe he'll do indies. That way he's flexible with time and still do the social media with his family. I wouldn't say he's just going to immediately run over to AEW. That might not be his option. And plus, he's older and he's expressed that it's a lot for him to wrestle. He's had some injuries recently, a lot of things. So I wouldn't, if he does go to AEW, great. I will watch him over there. But as far as him, I think he might do indies here, date here, there, because he's very valuable. I know, shout out to CM. She said that maybe his best option is to do Ashe wrestling, and they don't have that many dates, and that'll give him opportunity to stay home with his
It
family.
depends on what he wants to do. Truth is definitely on the older side, but he's still in great physical condition. He can still bring it inside the ring, and he's a great character guy, and he's been in the business for a long period of time. So he's got a wealth of knowledge to lend the newer generation and things of that nature. So finding out this news was just super surprising to me that WWE wouldn't keep a person of his tenure around just in another capacity. So there's that about it. I'm not too sure where Ron does from here. Whatever he chooses to do is his own business, and hopefully he continues to succeed in life and all that jazz. And he's able to take care of his family going forward because he seems to be a very beloved and good human being from everything that I've ever seen of him outside of the ring and inside of the ring. So much props and much love to R-Truth and whatever he decides to do in the future. Then we had the tag match here. Los Garzas defeated Javon Evans and Ray Phoenix. I was surprised to see Javon Evans on SmackDown. I'm not too sure Javon Evans was a call-up or not. But Javon Evans was on SmackDown teaming with Ray Phoenix, and they lost their match. And Javon Evans continued his feud with Ethan Page on SmackDown. So that was interesting. Zelina Vega and Alba Fire had their match. Zelina Vega defeating Alba Fire there. I'm not too sure how happy fans are with the Zelina Vega U.S. Championship run. So
Not too
I'll just state that.
happy.
And then finally Andrade getting a win and being in Money in the Bank, defeating Carmelo Hayes, and I forget who else was in the match as well. But Andrade.
Carmelo, it was Carmelo Hayes and
Oh,
Jacob
okay.
Fatu.
So yeah, at the end of the day, Big Jake's the U.S. champion, so he's got the stuff to do. It would have worked either or way with Melo or Andrade in the Money in the Bank match. I mean, they still have qualifiers to go. Obviously, I know they usually go with a new set of 3 wrestlers to do the qualifying matches, but Andrade's not a bad pick. Carmelo's got time because he's young, but at the end of the day, they're finally doing something with Andrade since he's returned to the WWE. So hopefully, something good comes out of this win. And him going into the Money in the Bank match.
I know Andrade did a kind of like indie show. It might have been House of Glory or something during the time after he left WWE, before like during the time he was with AEW, and it was with somebody who can wrestle luchador, and it was really great. You know what I'm saying? So I think with AAA coming in, he might have a better opportunity to have like great matches and get his stash up. Cause I enjoyed this match. I wouldn't say it was like the greatest match of all time, but I enjoyed it. I was shocked to see him win. I didn't expect Carmelo to win. I thought Carmelo might win because he's been putting in the work and they've kind of been he's been on the shows weekly. So I thought maybe he would have an opportunity because Andrade was losing like a mofo, and then now he's up in this getting this opportunity. But I think he would fit in the match good, and we might see some high flying stunts out of him. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go in. And last week after the show, we had a WWE show with NXT called Battleground. It was on Peacock. As you all know, I did a watch along and we had a good time, played some games, talked some smack for the WWE Battleground show. It was on Peacock on the 25th. You still can go back and watch it. For the WWE NXT North American title, we had Sol Ruka defeat Kalani Jordan. Hank and Tank, Walker and Tank Ledger, along with Josh Briggs, defeated the Culling Brooks Jensen, Nico Vance, and Sean Spears. Channing Lorenzo defeated the boss, Tony D'Angelo. WWE NXT Women's title match, Stephanie Vaquer defeated Jordan Grace. For the WWE NXT title match, Oba Femi defeated Miles Bourne. And for the TNA World title match, Trick Williams defeated Joe Hendry in a title change. J News, did you see this and what did you think about it?
I only saw highlights of certain matches. I know that there was a good consensus feel online that NXT's Battleground PLE was a good show, but from what I saw,
Was
it didn't lend to that critique that it was good. Uh,
I think the matches were
Tony D,
good.
you disappointed me, man. I don't know who wrote the storyline for Tony D and Channing and the rest of the family. That match did not go the way that I thought it should have gone. And then it nothing ended the way it was supposed to. That's one.
Well, it left a cliffhanger because Luca Crucifino
Yeah,
showed up, did not get
right.
involved, but then at the end, when it looked like he was gonna turn on Tony, he essentially reached out like, "Hey, we still cool," and Tony was like, "Bump you! You cost me my match," and Luca was looking like,
Yeah, that
"What?" I'm I'm like, we still work
yeah,
together. Then you got Channy over there looking like he helped me. We down together,
it
and it's
was
like
it was
cliffhanger. Was he there to help
there
or
was
hurt? Like that was the
there's
cliffhanger in there.
confusion there. They're keeping the storyline going as long as they have been. I think is really a detriment to what they've been doing. But hey, um, for all intents and purposes, I was disappointed with the match. I'm still not into Hank and Tank. Um, so there's that. Josh Briggs was able to get his tag team partner back because uh, Nishi was in the he was in the crowd during the match. At the end of the
Who?
day,
Who?
the dude from Noah, um,
Oh yeah. Naka
Inamura, yeah,
Inamura.
he was in the crowd.
Inamura came to help toward the
Inamora's
end.
back from Noah, so he came back and he helped Josh. He was in that particular fashion there. So he'll be
Yeah, they were getting beat down after the match, and Inamura
so
showed up to help.
they'll be bringing their tag team back. From what I can tell, the NXT Women's Title match was great. Stephanie Vaquer and Jordan Grace are freaking pros. They were able to tear it down. Miles Bourne did a tremendous job against Obafemi. I felt from everything that I saw, and that match went the way it was supposed to. Obviously, because Miles wasn't going to beat Obafemi. And that world title match, man. Oh man, um, yeah, not it. But Trick's the new champion, so it is what it is.
I think what it was with tricking them is that leading up to the match, we immediately thought TNA World Title they not gonna put this on this boy. It's not happening. And there were points in the match, not they fault, where the referee put his hand down. I was like, "That's a 3." And he'll be like, "No, 2." And I'm like, "Sir, I saw your hand go down, but you want to play me stupid? Let's go ahead." I think Sol Ruka match was fun with Kalani because it seemed like she is trying to turn like Naomi. Whereas like this, even in the promo she had leading up, it's like I'm not just this good girl. You're not gonna keep doing this. And then she lost again, and she seemed like she lost her mind. Um, Now we'll talk about Battleground. After the Stephanie match is when Stephanie got slapped into nowhere, and so it's setting up towards the CMLL match, which is crazy because she was having the confrontation with the people she is supposed to be facing in the Worlds Collide match. And then all of a sudden, I forgot who her name is, walked up and, not JC Jane, walked up and slapped her. And it was like, at that moment, I was like, okay, there's going to be a match on NXT. Stephanie's going to beat her. We're going to get to this match with these other two ladies. not knowing that Stephanie was gonna lose, which shocked everybody because she was standing up there at the end with the NXT credits rolling, and I was like, with my mouth open at the screen. But I did enjoy Battleground overall. We'll talk about the other pay per view was on the at the same exact time. I think the other pay per view stomped, kicked, elbow dropped that into nowhere. So, ladies and gentlemen, so we can get on the road, we're going to be talking about AEW. We're also going to be going into AEW Dynamite. Dynamite was $2.95 on the 28th, which is Wednesday. It simulcast on TBS and HBO Max. Ladies and gentlemen, we had a mixed six-man tag match. The Death Riders, John Moxley, Marina Shafir, and Gabe Kidd defeated the Mark Briscoe, Mike Bailey, and Willow Nightingale by referee's decision. As we all know, somebody got to get involved when it comes to a Death Riders match. We had a no disqualification tag team match where Megan Bain and Penelope Ford defeated Anna Jay and Harley Cameron. We had a non-title six-man tag team match where the Ops, Katsuyori Shibata, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Samoa Joe defeated the Frat House of Cole Carter, Griff Garrison, Preston Vance. For the AEW TNT title match, Adam Cole defeated Kyle Fletcher by DQ. And for the AEW International title qualifier match, Brody King defeated Josh Alexander. J News, did you see this and what did you think?
Yeah, I saw this show. This was the show after Double or Nothing. The six-man tag did what it was supposed to do. At the end of the day, to start the show, it really excited the crowd and things of that nature. Everybody getting choked out by the end of the match was an interesting bit to do. So that left me with a feeling of, well, we're going to continue the Death Rider storyline as is currently constituted. So we'll see how it goes. The no DQ tag match between Megan Bain and Penelope Ford, Anna Jay, and Harley Cameron. I think the girls did a bang up job. They played they set up an angle here for Harley Cameron, who quote unquote busted up her nose. But reports have it that Harley Cameron had been hurt during, I believe, the previous week's episode of Collision, not even Double or Nothing. And it was a way for them to write Harley Cameron off of TV for a while as she heals up from whatever injuries she's suffering from. Positive thoughts on Harley Cameron. But all the other ladies, I think, look strong in this. So it was a cool enough no DQ match for the girls. The Ops did a squash match against the Frat House. Those dudes are annoying, as they should be, the Frat House, but I have no idea what Tony Khan plans to do with the likes of Griff Garrison and Preston Vance. They've been with AEW for years now. They haven't really progressed much as characters on TV. So I'm not too sure as to what their future holds, and Cole Carter as well. Ever since he came over from NXT, he's been kind of in the same place. So I'm not too sure how that's all going to work out for those young boys in the future. A TNT title match I thought was really good before it ended via DQ. And then there was a post-match interview with Kyle Fletcher to mention this, where Kyle Fletcher has started to sow the seeds of dissension between members of the Don Callis family. He was mentioning in the post-match interview how he didn't need anybody to interfere in his match, that he had Adam Cole beat. So it seems that him and Adam Cole are going into a blood feud against one another to see as to who's going to come out on top as the TNT champion. So we'll see how that all breaks down. And then the international qualifier match between Brody King and Josh Alexander was a hard-hitting affair, as I thought it should be, with Big Bad Brody King winning that particular match. Shouts to Brody for being included in this AEW international title four-way that's coming on Wednesday. and Josh Alexander doing Josh Alexander things, just out wrestling most people and being as physical as hell and playing his part for the time being. So very good show for Dynamite.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about ROH. Before we talk about it, I'm going to drop a bomb on J News. Some of these names, J News, I watched that show 3 times to learn how to say these people's names, and guess what? Still ain't got it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go on to Ring of Honor, and it was Ring of Honor on Honor Club, 118 on the
Yeah.
30th. You can find it on ROHWrestling.com or the app. Ladies and gentlemen, we had La Catalina defeat Trisha Dora. Lance Archer defeated Diego Hill. For the ROH Pure title match, we had Lee Moriarty defeat Matt
Mhm.
Mako. We had it's J
This is
News.
the Torneo Cibernetico 10-man elimination match. We had members of both the ROH and CMLL rosters competing here. So we have Blue Panther, Hologram, Neon, Valiente, and Virus defeat Averno, Dr. Cerebro, Euforia, Volador Jr., and Zelwa. Virus eliminates Zelwa, Euforia eliminates Virus, Volador Jr. Eliminated Valiente, Hologram and Neon eliminated Euphoria, Blue Panther eliminated Dr. Cerebro, Averno eliminated Neon, Blue Panther and Hologram eliminated Averno and Volador Jr. And then we have Blue Panther and Hologram. It says Ciegers here. I'm not too sure what the hell that is because that's not a Spanish word, but they were. I'm going to assume that Blue Panther and Hologram were the winners. So
Yeah,
then,
the team, because they were the last people standing. The team, Blue Panther, Hologram, Neon, and Virus, and
yeah,
Violente. That's how you pronounce it. They defeated the
right,
other team because they were the
yeah.
last two standing. We had Satnam Singh defeating Fakad, right? That's how I pronounce that right. I always mess his name up. Hologram and Rhino defeated the Frat House, which again they lost on main TV this week and ROH. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go on to a show that happened yesterday. It was AEW Collision, and it was number 95 on yesterday, simulcasted on TNT and HBO Max. Ladies and gentlemen, we had AEW International title qualifier match. Claudio Castagnoli defeating Commander. The Don Callis family of Konosuke Takeshita, Rocky Romero, and Trent Beretta defeated Paragon of Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, along with Tomohiro Ishii. We had an AEW Continental title eliminator match where Kazuchika Okada defeated Anthony Bowens. We had Mina Shirakawa defeat Sky Blue. Gates of Agony defeated Cosmo Orion and Jimo, that's J News word, Kaminari,
Where are we here?
on
Oh,
the Gates of Agony
the two
match.
local guys. Yeah, I don't know who they are. So,
I mean, That was that's why I didn't pay attention. La Facción Ingranable, Jurlistico Rouge, and the Beast Mortos defeated AR Fox and Top Flight of Dante and Darius Martin. And last but not least, the AEW International title qualifier match. Mascara Dorada defeated Hechicero. J News, did you see this and what did you think
so I
about it?
wasn't necessarily in the best of moods to watch this yesterday. For those who don't know, I'm a New Yorker, which by majority makes me in line to be a New York Knicks fan. This show came on after the Knicks lost to the Indiana Pacers and were eliminated from the Eastern Conference Finals. I say all that to say that I wasn't in wrestling mood when I was watching this match, when I was watching this show. I thought that the Castagnoli versus Commander match was fine. I thought it did what it was supposed to do. Had some good hope spots for Commander in the match there, but we all knew Claudio was going to win that match. The Don Callis family continues their barrage against members of the Paragon and other members of the New Japan roster. So we'll continue to see that into Forbidden Door. The other continental title, there was a continental title eliminator match. I concentrated on this match heavily because I wanted to see how Anthony Bowens would do against Okada one on one to see if he would bring anything out of Okada. And Bowens is able to get a decent match out of Okada here for a TV match. So props to Anthony Bowens for having a strong and good match against Okada, and Okada bringing it. But Okada wins, obviously, because they're not going to have Anthony Bowens win over Okada. Mina Shirakawa and Sky Blue was fine. Good showing, good return match for Sky Blue. Mina continuing um, to quote unquote peddle her wares out here for the AEW fan base as she continues to be a mainstay on the AEW women's roster. The Gates of Agony had a squash match against those two local guys, so there wasn't much doing there. But it seems like they've attire wise repackaged Toa Leona. So we'll see as to what they're going to be doing with Gates of Agony as a tag team going forward. La Facción Ingobernable, I thought that this match did exactly what it was supposed to. La Facción wrestles a very hectic, high-paced style, all over the place, physical style, and they were able to bring that against AR Fox and Top Flight. They're keeping those guys strong because La Facción, they're keeping them strong due to the I don't want to say due to the Mexico show at Arena Mexico in June. They should be kept strong nonetheless, but at the end of the day, that's more or less the reason as to why they're keeping them strong. So we'll see as to what La Facción has in store for them come that Grand Slam show in Mexico. And then the match of the night, I thought, Máscara Dorada versus Hechicero was one hell of a match between these two. And they got a lot of TV time for this match. And Dorada and Hechicero were able to show out, even though that crowd was on its last legs, to be quite honest. So, but the match was intense and it was good and great lucha stylings and things of that nature. They went with Máscara Dorada here. That surprised me as a result. But that lends to what they'll be able to do in that international four-way match come Fighter Fest on Wednesday on Dynamite. So if I were in a better mood, I would have probably said this was a good episode of Collision. But I'm just it was
It was.
there.
I watched it again this morning because, like I've explained, I get up really early in the morning on these shows and try to reach watch stuff so I could kind of retain some of the things I want to say about it. But I really liked this show um, because I felt like Dynamite was and like that long promo we had to start off the show, but just had a lot of action, and I liked the matches. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go way back to the playback and we're going to go into the pay per view that also happened on Sunday for AEW. It was AEW's Double or Nothing, ladies and gentlemen. We had a in the start off on the show on the buy-in, which is on YouTube if you want to watch these matches. It was a non-title Owen Hart Foundation 2025 tournament final match where Mercedes Monet defeated Jamie Hayter. I don't know why I can't talk today. FTR, Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood defeated Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness by referee's decision. Then we had going into the show, stretcher match. Ricochet defeated Mark Briscoe. AEW World Title match. The Hurt Syndicate. Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin defeated the Sons of Texas, Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara. We had an AEW Continental title match, Kazuchika Okada defeating Mike Bailey. AEW Women's World title match, Toni Storm defeated Mina Shirakawa. We had Anarchy in the Arena with Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland, and the Ops, Katsuri Shibata, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Samoa Joe, along with Willow Nightingale, defeating the Death Riders of Claudio Castagnoli, John Moxley, Mina Shafir, Willa Yuta, and the Young Bucks of Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. We had the Don Callis family, Josh Alexander, Konosuke Takeshita, and Kyle Fletcher defeat Paragon of Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. And for the Owen Hart Foundation 2025 men's tournament final match, we had Adam Page defeat Will Ospreay. J News, I know you saw this. What did you think?
I did see this show, and I thought show overall was probably one of the better pay per views of the year. Um, none of the matches were bad, objectively
Yeah,
speaking. They were all good matches. Now, as per character development for some people, where certain matches were situated in the card, you know, you win some and you lose some at the end of the day. The what's going on, Tori? Um, the Mercedes Moné versus Jamie Hayter match for and this yet again, I said this on True Heel Heat, but I'll say it here as well. I thought that it should have been placed elsewhere on the card. I thought that it should have probably been semi-main, but the way that they set up semi-main to be after Anarchy in the Arena, nobody was going to be able to follow that match. So they did, I guess, in retrospect, they did put Mercedes Moné versus Jamie Hayter in the right spot, bookending the show with both of the Owen Hart Foundation finals matches. A great match between Mercedes Moné and Jamie Hayter. And yeah, the ladies did the damn thing, and I thought that they tore the house down. They set up Jamie Hayter for a new feud on Dynamite this past week with the debut of Thekla from Stardom.
yeah.
So they'll be feuding it up. The tag match here, the FTR match versus Danny Garcia and Nigel McGuinness, yet again, strong match within itself, but a lot of people weren't. A lot of people, even in the AEW fan base, were not invested in this particular storyline per se. I'm always glad to see Nigel in the ring after all the years that he spent out of it. So great to see Nigel, Danny, doing what Danny does in the ring, and FTR still being one of the most prolific tag teams in the last 10 to 15 years. Doesn't cease to amaze me because those guys are great. The stretcher match was way more fun than it had any business being. Shouts to Ricochet and Mark Briscoe for that. Those dudes, man, I knew they had the capability of stealing the show. They didn't steal the show, but that damn it, man, that match was fun. The Hurt Syndicate match versus the Sons of Texas. The outcome of this was everybody knew what was going to happen, but the match itself was much better than I thought it would have been. Shouts to Dustin Rhodes for still being one hell of a ring general in there. I got no love for Sammy Guevara, so I ain't got nothing positive to say about him. And the Hurt Syndicate looking strong still. Okada versus Mike Bailey was a tremendous match between those two. I knew Mike Bailey would get a great match out of Okada, and that's definitely what went down. Tony Storm versus Mina Shirakawa was a hell of a wrestling match. Those two ladies definitely put on a wrestling clinic, character and all. And Mina's work on Tony's leg was great. Tony just trying to out wrestle and outpace Mina throughout the match was cool, but Tony eventually winning was the result that most folks were anticipating. That Anarchy in the Arena match, man, it was fun. It was crazy. It was all over the place. It was violent. It had crazy spots. It was the music that was involved, which everybody, by the time everybody let the bodies hit the floor, it just turned the match into something else. Tremendous match for the Anarchy in the Arena match. So shouts to everybody involved there. They gave me my Willow spot during the match where Willow went crazy and she powerbombed the crap out of everybody. So that's all I really wanted out of the match. And they had a bunch of other crazy spots in there too. So shouts to everybody involved in that match. I did not feel very positive about whoever followed up this Anarchy in the Arena match, and I knew it was going to be that six-way tag team match between the Don Callis family and the Paragon. The match was actually a very good match, but the gas was taken out of the crowd by that time, and it was just, yeah. How do you follow that up at the end of the day? But they were the match that allowed for the crowd to settle back in. And right before the main event, which was Adam Page versus Will Ospreay, and that was one hell of a main event. Those two gentlemen, some of the best in-ring performers in professional wrestling, and they proved it. They showed it. They gave us what I uh, what I deemed and considered to be the equivalent of a Tokyo Dome level main event. Adam Page and Will Ospreay tore it down, man, and the right man won, in my opinion. So Adam Page, our millennial cowboy, winning the match here, being the Owen Hart Foundation uh, tournament winner, and going on to All In to face John Moxley, and then that walked into the episode of Dynamite where they now have a storyline where Will Ospreay is trying to get the powers that be together here, the powers that be being Adam Page and Swerve Strickland, to be on the same side.
Yeah, he's like, he's not that type of man, bro. And I'm like, and
So, you know,
and Hangman looking all sad over there. I was like, man, you not getting a fair shake. When he was talking about Nick getting a fair shake, everybody was like, you have had plenty of opportunities. Now that he's like this sad cowboy who has been beaten down, and he's trying to come back, rise from the ashes. It makes him more believable than the first time they tried this.
yeah, I just feel like it's and between Wednesday and between Saturdays, uh, in ring promos and backstage cuts, it seems like we're going to be leading towards Swerve versus Will 2. Uh, and that'll probably be a number one contenders match after whoever comes up to be the champion at All In. Hopefully, Hanger wins at All In. That's my hope. Um, and then we go from there. But the battle here for the AEW championship should be amongst those three guys for years to come. With a sprinkling of other folks up there too, man. Give MJF another shot. Eventually, Tony wants to give Darby a shot at it and things of that nature. But as long as these three gentlemen, Will Ospreay, Adam Page, and Swerve Strickland, stay atop the card, I think AEW will be in good hands for years to come. So I just wanted to mention that.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go way back because the next company had two shows. One of them I could easily find. One of them I had to go in the dark web to find it. Okay, and I'm going to tell you about TNA. And TNA had a regular show that we talk about every week, 1088 on the 29th on Access TV. We had a TNA World Title number one contendership four-way title match. The Rascals, Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz defeated First Class AJ Francis, okay, and Casey Navarro and Laredo and the System, Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards, okay. That match, I don't know, J News, did you watch this show?
No, I did not.
Okay, so I'm just gonna tell y'all. It was an okay match. Glad the Rascals won. I'm over First Class. I'm over AJ Francis, period. But this team together, they were doing something for me in the beginning. I'm over them. Uh Laredo Kid and the System, I'm over them too, especially Alicia Edwards. She makes me sick. Mustafa Ali defeated Raj Singh. That was a okay match. I think it could have went a little bit shorter because it seemed like at a certain point Raj was PIB, like he needed a break. We had Li Ying Lee defeat Ash by Elegance. Again, Ash is not working for me. And I don't know why we keep putting her on my TV, but it is what it is. That was actually a better match than she normally has, so I give her credit. Mance Warner defeated Bryce Hansen. Bryce got beat, and that's how it should have went. Robert Stone and Victoria Crawford defeated Ariana Grace and Santino Morella. We'll find out that a certain person uh, came out for the pay per view version. TNA International title match. Steve Macklin defeated Matt Cardona. This is the match I would say go back from this to watch. Ladies and gentlemen, the second show was TNA Border Brawl, where it was Canada versus USA. We started off with, went too far. We started off with Sammy Callahan, representing USA, defeating William Trudeau uh, for Canada side. Canada had Courtney Rush defeating Victoria Crawford on the USA side. The system, JDC and Moose, representing US, defeated Channing Decker and Jesse Beaver on the Canada side. Hardcore match, Tommy Dreamer, representing USA, defeated Champagne Singh, representing Canada. Frankie Kazarian, USA, defeated Cody Deaner, representing Canada. The Northern Army, Judas Icarus and Travis Williams, representing Canada, defeated the system, Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards, representing USA. The Viperists, representing USA, defeated Jody Threat, who represented Canada. Eric Young, who represented Canada, defeated Matt Hardy, who represented the USA match. In the flag match, Santina Morella, who represented Canada, defeated Nick Nemeth, who represented USA. Nick was accompanied by Barbie Blank, if you don't know. I forgot her WWE name. You know what I'm talking about, J News?
Uh, is it
I remember the song. Is She Got Legs? Yeah, that
Kelly? Was it Kelly
Kelly
Kelly?
Kelly, that's it.
Yeah.
Kelly, that was her name. Um, Mixed 10-man tag team match. We had Cody Deaner, Jody Threat, Matt Hardy, Santina Morella, and Tommy Dreamer defeat the system. So USA and Canada came together just to beat the system of Alicia Edwards, Brian Myers, Eddie Edwards, JDC, and Moose. I know you might. Did you see this, J News?
No,
Okay.
no, I did
Yeah.
not.
We're going to keep it moving. And this is the part where J News come in, ladies and gentlemen. Because we're going to be talking about New Japan Pro Wrestling, the best of the Super Juniors. I'm going to go over Block A and Block B. And at the end of this section, we're going to talk about the scores of who did what in Block A and Block B. We have Block A, Master Wado, Hiromu Takahashi. We have Kushida. My eyes are blind this today. Uh okay, there we go. Kushida, Koze Fujita, Ninja Mac, Robbie X, Francesco Akira, Clark Connors, uh Kanemaru, and Block B. We have El Desperado, Taguchi, Robbie Eagles, Yo, Kevin Knight, Taji Ishimori, Teton Show, Nick Wayne. Okay? So J News. We'll be going over day 10 with you all.
Yeah, this happened. This broke down on the 25th, which was last Sunday, I believe. So we had Block B action. We had Robbie Eagles defeating Ryusuke Taguchi, and Block A action, Kushida defeated Yoshinobu Kanemaru. Another Block B match, Yo defeated Teton. Block A, Dragon Dia defeated Robbie X. Block B, Mao defeated Nick Wayne. And Block A, Ninja Mac defeated Jose Fujita. And Block B, Sho defeated Taiji Ishimori. And Block A, Clark Connors defeated Francesco Akira. And that went down via DQ. We then had a Block B match where El Desperado defeated Kevin Knight. And then a Block A match ended the night where Hiromu Takahashi defeated Master Wato. On the 27th, we had some tag matches to set up some stuff here. This, I believe, was the night where they set up the Block A semis into the finals. We had Teton Suji defeat Daiki Nagai and Nick Wayne. House of Torture member Sho and Yujiro Takahashi defeated Mao and Sho Makato. El Desperado and Toriano defeated TMDK members Hartley Jackson and Robbie Eagles. Tiger Mask and Yo defeated Bullet Club War Dog members Gato and Taiji Ishimori. Now, to round out Block A, Ninja Mac defeated Dragon Dia. They both ended their tournaments at 8 points. Francesco Akira defeated Kushida, so Akira ended up at 10 points there. Block A match, Yoshinobu Kanemaru defeated Master Wato, which then had Kanemaru with 8 points, Master Wato with 10. Fujita defeated Clark Connors, so that ended up with Fujita with 10 points and Clark Connors with 10 points. And then we had Robbie X defeat Hiromu Takahashi, and that had Robbie X end up with 8 points, and Taka and Hiromu end up with 10 points. So with all that being said, it ended up in a four-way tie between um, I think it was between Akira, Master Wato, Clark Connors, Kosei Fujita, and Hiromu Takahashi, five-way tie. But Kosei Fujita defeated all those men in one-on-one matches. So even though Kosei Fujita had 10 points and so did everybody else, because he had wins over all those other men who also had 10 points, he ended up being the Block A winner. Now on to the 29th, which was 2 days ago. This was the Block B setup. We had Dragon Dia and Kishida along with Ninja Mac defeating Daiki Nagaya, Masatori Yasuda, and Shimakato. House of Torture members Ren Narita, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and Yujiro Takahashi defeated Katsuya Murashima, Master Wato, and Toriyano. Hiromu Takahashi and Yota Tsuji defeated United Empire members Francesco Akira and Jacob Austin Young. TMDK's Hartley Jackson, Kosei Fujita, and Ryohei Oiwa defeated Billy Club War Dog members Clark Connors, Gato, and Robbie X. We then have Block B's semis into the finals. We had Kevin Knight defeat Ryusuke Taguchi. Teton defeated Nick Wayne. Mao defeated Sho. We then had Ed Desperado defeat Robbie Eagles. And then Yo defeating Taiji Ishimori. This also ended up in the same way, where we had a three-way tie between Mao, Despy, and Mao Despy and Jesus, why am I forgetting the name here? And Yo, Yo defeating Despy and Mao. So Yo coming out of Block B as your winner. So your final for the Best of Super Juniors tournament ended up being Yo versus Kosei Fujita, which happened this morning, and we'll review that next week.
So yes, as you see, ladies and gentlemen, these are the point systems that I ended for Block A and Block B. Okay, so it's time for a preview, and we're gonna start off with the Best of Super Junior.
We had the show that went on this morning. So these are the matches that went on this morning without the results here. So we had the Intergalactic Jet Setters, Kevin Knight and Kushida, along with Master Wato, Oleg Bolton, and Toriano defeat, go ahead and face off against House of Torture members, Reina Rita, Sonata Show, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and Yujiro Takahashi, Tai Chi, Tomoaki Hanma, Yoshihashi went up against United Empire members Callum Newman, Francisco Akira, and the Great Okan, El Phantasmo, Mao, Nick Wayne, and Shota Umino, the big square guys, went up against TMDK's Hartley Jackson, Robbie Eagles, Ryohei Oiwa, and Zack Sabre Jr. Teton and Yota Tsuji are going up against Bullet Club War Dog members Clark Connors and Taichi Ishimori. In a special singles match, we have Gato versus Evil. We then have Dragon Dia, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Ninja Mac, and just four guys, Taka Michinoku and Yuya Uemura, along with El Desperado. Hiroki Goto and Ryusuke Taguchi going up against Hiromu Takahashi and Shingo Takagi. And then your Best of Super Junior final had Yo winning B block and Kosei Fujita winning A block. So that's your Best of Super Junior final going into the results that we'll post to you guys next week.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, everything that's on Sunday we'll do the following week because your girl needs some rest. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a TNA preview. They've been having shows left, right, and center. We have TNA Against All Odds. Ladies and gentlemen, it happens on 6/6. It'll be the pre-show will be on YouTube. The regular will be on TNA Plus. Pre-show doesn't have anything. The main show has TNA International Title Match: Steve Macklin versus Mance Warner. TNA World Title Match: The Nimitz, Nick and Ryan Nimitz versus the Rascal Trey Miguel, Zachary Wentz. TNA Knockout Worlds Title Match is Masha Slamovich versus Yi-Ling Yi. We have Franklin Kazarian versus Joe Hendry. And for the TNA World Title match, we have Trick Williams versus Elijah. Ladies and gentlemen, on 6/7, the day I'm going to be busy, GCW has a Tournament of Survivor match on Triller TV. The matches that are listed for the Tournament of Survivor are short right now. It is the Tournament of Survival X first round match. John Wayne Murdoch versus Mr. Danger. Tournament of Survivor X first round three-way match. Beastman versus Dr. Redacted versus Otis Cougar. Tournament of Survivor X first round match. The Bev versus, I can't pronounce it, Waka Masutu. Is that how you pronounce the last name? And then for the GCW title match, Tournament of Survival first round match, Matt Tremont versus whoever. Now, if you all have never seen a Tournament of Survivor, they literally do these hardcore matches multiple times in a night. So, like, the first person might face the second person might face the third person to get into the final match at the end of the night. Which I can't wait for because last year it looked like they about to go to the upper room when they finished. Ladies and gentlemen, now we're on to the watch alongs that will be happening here on my channel. Okay. WWE has two shows, one with AAA, who they have acquired. It is Worlds Collide. Watch along starts at 3 p.m. It is on YouTube. Don't have to worry about Peacock. Don't have to worry about anything. If you watch me on YouTube, you can watch them and we can watch along and have a good time. Ladies and gentlemen, I might need some help with J News, but I think I got this. Aerostar, Mr. Iguana, and Octagon Jr. versus LWO, Cruz del Toro, Dragon Lee, and Joaquin Wild. We have Cheek Tormenta and Diles versus Lola Vice and Stephanie Vercure. We have the WWE North American title four-way match, Ethan Page versus Laredo Kid versus Ray Phoenix versus Javon Evans. We have El Hill de Dr. Wagner Jr., Pagno?
Pagano.
Pagano, see. Psycho Clown and versus Legado del Fantasma, Angel Berto, and Santos Escobar. And last but not least, for the AAA Mega title match, we have Chad Gable versus El Hijo del Vikingo. Ladies and gentlemen, then the next show, which is at 7 on Peacock, will be for WWE alone. It would be Money in the Bank 2025, ladies and gentlemen. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Peacock on the same day. We have the WWE Intercontinental title match, Laura Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. Money in the Bank ladder match, we have Naomi versus Alexa Bliss versus Rhea Ripley versus Julia versus Roxanne Perez. And at the time we did this versus whoever. Money in the Bank men's ladder match, we have Seth Rollins, LA Knight, Andrade Penta, Solo Sikoa, and I don't know a person. John Cena and Logan Paul will face Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I don't know, I might see J News here for the HOG House of Glory show. Mike Santana presents Puerto Rican, okay? It's popular. J News might be there.
No,
It's on the 7th too, huh?
no, not at all.
I thought you would go. I was like, J News might
No,
go.
no.
Uh
I let my
it's
Puerto Rican brethren do their thing.
on the 7th, also, so there'll be 4 shows I gotta watch. All Triller TV. We have Matt Tequila, that's how you pronounce it?
Yep.
Yeah, see, I'm learning some vaginas. Versus Marcus Mathers, Deanna Perrazzo versus Carissa Rivera. We had a WXW Unified World Wrestling title match. One Carl Manders versus Dan Maff. HOG Cruiserweight title match. Don Richardson versus Amazing Red. HOG Heavyweight title match. Mike Santana versus Tomohiro Ishii. I cannot wait for that. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings you to the end of our show. We're so sad. We're so sad. But J News has something special for you because it is time for the spotlight of the week.
Yeah, so this week it's upon me to do the spotlight of the week. So I chose to go with one half of the Best of Super Juniors finalists here. I chose to go with Yo from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Yo has been he's probably one of the longer standing members of New Japan Pro Wrestling at this point in his career, even though he's still on the younger side of things. I believe Yo's still in his early 30s. Yo is what they consider a junior wrestler, which is any wrestler who is under 100 kilograms, that being 205 pounds. For us American folk, Yo has a very unique skill set. He's a very unique professional wrestler with the way that he moves, the things that he puts together. I remember the first time I saw Yo was actually in an American company. The first time I saw Yo was while Yo and Show were on excursion here in the U.S. in an ROH show, and I believe that was like back in 2013 or something like that, or 2014, one of those two. But I saw him at a show. On ROH TV at the time, and then I ended up seeing him live on a show on the Hammerstein Ballroom, with him and Show were still a tag team before they were Roppongi 3K, and I saw a lot of promise in him. In recent years, Yo has come down with several different types of injuries and things of that nature, so he hasn't been able to take advantage of any momentum that he's gathered throughout the years as a singles competitor or as a tag competitor, even though he's been IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champion several times at this point in his career. But he still has yet to hold any singles gold. We will see as to what the future holds for Yo, but hopefully Yo's future continues to be bright and he's able to perform at a high level and he stays healthy for the majority of the rest of his career, because that's most important and paramount above all else. And he can continue to entertain us on New Japan Pro Wrestling and things of that nature. I can definitely see Yo being a future IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, but not before the Japanese Young Punk. I'll say it that way, but we'll see as to what happens with Yo and how his career continues to progress. But definitely somebody to always look out for on New Japan Pro Wrestling shows with his unique and eccentric self. So shouts to Yo for being the spotlight of the week.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, let me take J News over to the studio because y'all already know what time it is. It's time for me to tell you something that ChatGPT has given me to talk about J News, and then J News will plug himself and his things with you all. Ladies and gentlemen, ChatGPT said, "Hey, don't play with him. J News really like that. When it comes to breaking down movies or talking that wrestling talk, he the GOAT for real, for real. Got jokes, got facts, and got bars. If you ain't tuned in, you sleeping hard, wake up and stop playing. J News running this."
I appreciate ChatGPT for always making sure that they have some positive words to breathe into my life on a weekly basis, uh, wherever the algorithm might have gotten all those words from. But hey, shouts to ChatGPT. As per the usual, folks, thank you very much for watching and listening to us here on this week's episode of the Hit the Ropes podcast, episode 37 here, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday afternoon. Join me and the lovely Delores as we break down the week that was in professional wrestling. Also catch me on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. I will be on there tomorrow afternoon breaking down what was the New Japan Best of Super Juniors tournament with my good brother SP3 and hopefully our Never Overweight six-man tag team partner Sanal. So check us out there, the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. You can also check out my written movie reviews on letterboxd.com and follow me at John LYFNMG, your friendly neighborhood moviegoer. I have my movie reviews up there. My latest movie review was actually of a movie I watched at home, which is something that I don't really do. But Netflix didn't give me much of a freaking option because they didn't put this particular movie in their movie theater that they have here in New York. Specifically for folks who don't know, Netflix owns a movie theater here in New York called the Paris Theater, and they usually air or play their Netflix driven movies at the Paris, even if it's for a week. And there was a specific anime film that I just reviewed that I thought was going to play at the Paris and it didn't, or whatever the case is. So, for all intents and purposes, just to name the movie so just that folks know, the movie I am talking about is called Lost in Starlight. It's a Korean anime film, and I liked it quite a bit, as a matter of fact. And I was looking forward to it, and thankfully, I have a nice setup here at the house with a big screen and a decent sound system and stuff. So I was able to immerse myself in that world. So for folks who like animation, anime, love stories, even a little bit of sci-fi and things of that nature, or even just stories about the overall gaze of the human connection. I think this is just a cool film for you to be able to watch. So yet again, the name of the movie is called Lost in Starlight, and it's currently streaming on Netflix. So you can check my written review out on letterbox.com. And yeah, that is it for me for this week. I'll be back next Sunday with Delores to do the Hit the Roast podcast, and keep up with us and stay tuned, folks.
Yes, yes, yes. J News, we really appreciate you. Make sure you go check out J News. As I always say, that's a good man, Savannah. That's a good man. I'm gonna put on my QR code. As you all know, I was doing rap lyrics, but today, because it's been a little trying week, and I want to put out a song that I love so much that I played at my grandmother's funeral. I really appreciate this song during tough times, and I am putting this out because I want to show my appreciation and love, and hope the community will come together, because 10 is to back home. She had to lay her brother to rest, and this immediately touched my heart, and I wanted to relay to you all just the first piece of it. Um, it's by Mary Mary, and it's there will be mountains that I will have to climb, and there will be battles that I will have to fight. But victory or defeat is up to me to decide. But how can I expect to win if I never try? I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy, and I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. And I truly believe those lyrics, and that is just a core of who I am. Just me, and I wanted something that could hopefully connect to her just like as much as it's connected to me in loss, and continue to pray for her on her journey. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dolores. If you all do not know, I do a lot of things, but mostly I'm Dolores of Dolores Designs. Uh, I do graphics, I do social media management, I do everything. I've helped people with merch, websites, social media, everything. You find it wrapped up in me. And if I can't tell you how to do it, I'm definitely going to find it out or find out somebody who can. Uh, this is how you can contact me. You can reach me at that phone number, the email. That is how you can reach me to get me to just help you and work with your services. It'll be the greatest thing ever. We will grow your channel together. Listen, I'm about to tell you about a lady that I know who I met her, and she is super nice, doing a lot for the community. And guess what? She is glowing and growing every single day. Okay? So just how you reach me right there. You like Dolores, QR code too small. I got you. Right there. There's a bigger QR code for you to scan. For those who don't know how to do it, open your camera, reach out, it'll scan for you. And what you do is click the little link at the bottom, and it'll take you to my link tree, which will take you to all my social medias, and including having my address and my booking site on there where you can book uh, um, a set like a little get to know you session and see if you want to continue to work with me on that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to tell y'all about this wonderful lady. Her name is Miss Joy. Miss Joy does, as you see, quilting on Monday, but she also has community prayer, and you can find her new channel at the community prayer. She does community prayers every Thursday at 9. She's also doing these community blocks, because it will go on a quilt that will be auctioned off for the boys and girls homeless youth in California. Ladies and gentlemen, you can auction off services. You can auction off if you make cups. But anything you got that is can be sold will be auctioned off if you contribute to this. You can also go to her community page after this week. I will have her link up where you can um, reach out to her and send these things to her so she can put it a part of the auction. Nothing is due until October 1st, so you have enough time. If you make quilts or whatever, you can rhinestone, sew, whatever. The blocks will be put on the thing. I think is a great option because she's allowing you to put your logo to kind of promote yourself and get your work out there. So please, 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 please go check that out. Also, go check out Bedazzling Designs. I know y'all saw her new little profile pic. Ain't it cute? Ain't it so cute? Listen, she is a disabled veteran out here dropping knowledge and gems, also showing you how to make embroideries, patches, and doing beautiful, beautiful, beautiful rhinestone work. So if you don't go check her out, please do. I think maybe her link and some other links are dropping in the chat, so check those people out. Ladies and gentlemen, 10 is still. I know y'all like Dolores. You said that last week and you didn't show up. I was late. I came in at 6. I was late. Life be lifing sometimes. But I appreciate the women's closet because she leaves it. She is doing it where we can, even without her, still come together and fellowship as women and talk about the things that we go through every day. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, Track Factory beats Mr. Kid. Listen, I tell y'all every week. Now, I'm trying to work with him already to get my beat together, okay? But I got some already in the tuck. I've had some people listen to it and they like it, okay? Now, you can call me, message me. I got these beats for you to listen to. And we can get a meeting together. I mean, you can get something tailor made for you. He works with artists. These are beats that he has specifically for the YouTube community. So if you want to hear it now, listen. I told him a minute. He gave me beats that like 5-6 minutes. Now, if you want to, you can rap on them. You can put an AI on them. You can do whatever you want to them. But they are some great beats, and check them out. For those who don't know, next week I start my Saturday off with Worlds Collide at 3 p.m. As I said before, it is on YouTube, so you can definitely watch it. Okay, you can watch along with me. We'll be playing games, having fun, maybe have a little trivia, something like that. We'll be just having a good old time while watching Worlds Collide. And then later on in the day, y'all didn't know, it's Money in the Bank. Shawty, what you think? I'm gonna be right there, okay? Live 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on Dolores' channel. If you listen and you like, I can't find you, Dolores. It's Dolores01. That's how you find me. You can check it out in Google. You can check it out on YouTube. That's the way to find me. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, let me get you back to the studio. Let me cut myself off. Get J News back up here. Ladies and gentlemen, also check the Hit the Roast podcast out every Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you don't see me, you'll see J News. If you don't see J News, you'll see me. Okay? We're here every Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check out our QR code, which is right here. And that is to all our social medias. I know you like, Dolores, I'm getting back to getting on all our social medias. We will be putting shorts and different things out soon. Okay? We're just coming up with a master plan. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't mind, please like, subscribe, share us out, share J News out, share me out, share the Hit the Ropes podcast because we're on both channels every Sunday. Okay? But J News, you know what happens every time we come in here? It, we just set ablaze, J News. We be on fire in here. We don't put down these, we don't show them the way, J News. The path to great wrestling. We done told them the truth. Sometimes uncomfortable truth. Shout out to our truth. We know you gonna hold us down anywhere you go. But you know what, J News? It's time to put the fire out. And I got a way to put the fire out, J News. Even for me. And that's if you cut the lights out. J News, you see how dark it got on my end? It got dark in the studio. I don't know. I feel a little bit nervous, J News, that it's that dark. But you know what? It's cool now. And we're cool with you and we appreciate you. So until then, we want to say